Hey, what's up, guys? This is Cody the Coin Raptor, and Bitcoin has had quite a day today. Wow, Bitcoin has sold off heavily. I'm going to zoom in here a little bit to show you the hourly. Okay, so Bitcoin today was mostly sideways, and then it had a massive collapse, just a massive collapse. It went right through the support levels we can see here. This upper blue trend line right here, that's support level at about 19,500, and it just went right through it like a hot knife through butter. So if you compare and contrast this with a chart of the NASDAQ, okay, you can see here exactly what happened, and it turns out the NASDAQ at about 9 a.m. or so went into this massive plunge here. You can see this massive plunge, and then it actually bounced a little bit. And so Bitcoin really just replicated that. You can see the patterns are strikingly similar. The NASDAQ bled out the entire day. That took a massive nosedive, and Bitcoin went with it. And there just wasn't enough buying support. There wasn't enough buying support to actually keep it up. But if we zoom out, let me zoom out one more time here. So if we zoom out, we can see here that it went right through that support level, and instead it found the new support at about I'd say 18,600 or so. It's a little bit higher right now, but I'm kind of drawing it to where the end of the wick is. We can move this up a little bit if we wanted to like where the actual price ended up. And if we move it up just a little bit, then we're at about 18,800. Now, this is something I pointed out earlier this morning. When Bitcoin first plunged, I said on Twitter that the next support level was going to be about 18,900. It did go through that level, but then it bounced back a little bit, and now it's very, very close to that level. So I was just slightly off, and when I found the support level, but right now it seems to have found some support here at 18,800. Now, how long that lasts, I'm not entirely sure, but one thing we're seeing here with the RSI is it's at 30 right now, so it's on the border of being oversold, very close to being oversold. And the next level, if it winds up going through this level, this support here is probably the June lows. And I actually think that it's going to be going and retesting the June lows. Now, if that's going to be probably within the next week or two, most likely, we're going to see it come down here, retest the June lows, and then we'll see if there's enough buying support. There's enough support for it to hold those June lows. I'm not entirely sure if it will or not, but we shall see. I think, though, that it will come down and retest these June lows from what it's looking at. And if it does actually go through those June lows and that June support at about 17,600, then we'll have another conversation about where it will find support. But I have said previously in my other videos that I expect new support to come in. Let me see here. New support to come in at about 14,000 or so. So that would be about here or so in this region. There's some support there. There's some support in this area right here at about 16,000. So you can think probably 16,000, 14,000, and about 12,000. And those would be your likely support ranges. So if it does break through this level, then we'll have a conversation about how much farther it can fall after that point. Okay? But I do think we're heading for a retest of the June lows from the looks of it. Next, we're going to go ahead and take a look at Ethereum. Ethereum has held up very well compared to Bitcoin. Bitcoin had a massive panic and a crash there and went right through support. Ethereum has had more of a subdued reaction to it, even though there's been very strong volume coming in here, trying to drive the price lower. Right now, it's found support at about 1524, and then there's another support level below that at about 1400 or so. It's going to take a lot of volume to come in here and push it under that level, especially with the upcoming merge. The merge is about 10 days away or so, and so there's still a lot of buzz about Ethereum. And I'm looking to potentially add to my Ethereum position around this 1400 level, around the support level here, if it bounces off. Now, with Bitcoin, I did actually wind up making a Bitcoin buy here at 18,900 or so, about where I expected the support level was going to be. So it's just slightly under that region, but it's a very small position. And right now, I'm still waiting for the major capitulation, to either go down to the June lows or even go below the June lows to actually start putting in big money. So that's what I'm waiting for right now. I've just been nibbling here and there just for Bitcoin for these lows when it dips down, and just buying the dip. Again, this is dollar cost averaging, not financial advice, but I plan on holding it for at least 3 years. Okay? Now, another important thing I want to point out, the dollar index has been unstoppable. And so this is another thing that's providing a huge amount of pressure to Bitcoin right now, is that this thing is unstoppable. It is pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, and there doesn't seem to be any resistance that can possibly slow it down. And if I zoom out here to the monthly, we can see that we are at a high that we haven't seen since June of 2002. I mean, so it is a 20-year high right now, the dollar index, and that is just insane. Bitcoin cannot return to previous levels with the dollar index being this high. Eventually, the dollar's got to lose some strength in order for Bitcoin to come back. Okay. Another important thing I want to point out here is Bitcoin dominance. Let me zoom out a little bit. It's a little messy. Bitcoin dominance has taken a beating. Sorry, let me go to the daily. Bitcoin dominance has taken a beating. And in fact, right now, it's below the support levels that it's had this entire year. So this is the entire year up to this point. And even going back to May of 2021, there was a kind of very close support there at about 39%. It's gone under this whole level here, and it's made a new low, or at least retested this low here from January. But it's insane how far and how fast Bitcoin has fallen. And so what you're seeing right here, and I've drawn in this descending triangle formation here that kind of points towards the bottom. But what you're seeing here is traders are taking their money out of Bitcoin, and instead they're putting it in stable coins for safekeeping, or they're going and buying Ethereum. So we take a look at the Ethereum dominance. On the other hand, Ethereum dominance is pushing up into that resistance zone. And I've mentioned this before on Twitter, but there's this very strong resistance right here at 21%. It's pushing up. It bounced off of that resistance level, and now it's coming back down again. Anytime Ethereum enters this resistance box here, we expect to see Ethereum to pull back because it has not been able to break through this resistance box. We can go ahead and zoom all the way out to Ethereum's entire history, and it's had a very hard time staying above 20%, 20.5%. All right? All right, guys. And there's one more thing I want to go ahead and show you, and that is the Bitcoin funding rates. All right, the Bitcoin funding rates. And so what this shows you is essentially which side is winning. Okay, it shows you kind of if there's more longs or if there's more shorts. You can come and check this out on CryptoQuant and just come down here to funding rates, and they'll give you the funding rates for all the exchanges. So what this is showing you is when the funding rates are negative, it means that the shorts are paying a premium to the long. So the shorts are dominant. And one thing we can see here is that the entire month of August, shorts have been incredibly dominant. I mean, there's been very little green here. There's been very little. The longs have capitulated heavily in August. It kind of reminds me of June. You can see June right here. Massive, massive capitulation. There are a ton of shorts in Bitcoin right now. And so one thing we could wind up seeing is with this incredibly oversold position with Bitcoin, we're at 30 right now, but we could actually see a sizable short squeeze from here. But I'm not going to be able to predict when it will be exactly or if it will happen, but I think that the likelihood of a short squeeze is increasing, especially when you take a look at just, the massive amount of shorts that are coming into the market right now. And these shorts are having to pay premiums to the longs to maintain their position. So if we get a short squeeze, they'll have to liquidate. They'll have to liquidate, and then it'll cause another short squeeze. So it could cause a chain reaction. But then again, We also saw, like I said, massive number of these shorts come in June, and then it basically caused the run up that we saw in July and August. So that's a possibility. All right. Okay, so that's all I've got for you guys today. If you like this content, please let me know. Please like and subscribe, and also check out my Twitter. And if you want, go ahead and check out some of my other videos that I have, especially the ones that I made the last couple of days. Those are definitely worth a watch if you haven't watched those. This is Cody the Coin Raptor, signing out.